accident. Today I would like to share a few facts about teen driving. And throughout my speech I will be describing a few main points, which are: who is most at risk for having car accidents, what factors put teen drivers at risk, and how can deaths and injuries involving teen drivers be prevented. So my first point is, who is most at risk? According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the risk for motor vehicle crashes is higher among 16 to 19 years old than among any other group age. In fact, teen drivers are 3 times more likely than drivers 20 and older be in a fatal crash. Did you know that teen drivers with other passengers, newly licensed teens, and males are at most risk for having car accidents? According to teen driving in 2010, the motor vehicle death rate for males is twice more than for female drivers. The presence of teen passengers increases the risk of unsupervised teen driving. The risk increases with the number of teen drivers. A crash risk is particularly high during the first months of driving. For example, Jordine had 3 car accidents in 9 months of driving when she was 17 years old. And one of the accidents was a rollover, after which she woke up in a ditch, and she is still recovering from that accident, even though it was a while ago. My second point is, what factors put teen drivers at risk? Teens are more likely than older drivers to underestimate dangerous situations and not be able to recognize dangerous situations at all. Teens are more likely than older drivers to speed and allow shorter distance between cars. According to New York Times newspaper, among males between 16 to 20 years of age who were involved in fatal crash in 2010, 39% were speeding and 25% were drinking alcohol. Compared with other groups, teens have the lowest rate of seatbelt use. In 2011, only 54% of high school students reported they always wear seatbelt when driving with someone else. In 2010, 22% of drivers aged 15 to 20 involved in fatal motor vehicle crash were under the influence. In a national survey, 24% of teens reported that they have been ridden with someone who was drunk, and 8% reported that they have been driving under the influence. 56% of drivers aged 15 to 20 were killed in motor vehicle crashes, and they were under the influence and not wearing seatbelt. And half of the deaths occurred between 3 p.m. and midnight. So now I'm gonna move to my. So now that you know who is most at risk for having car accidents and what factors put teen drivers at risk, I want to move on to my third main point, which is how can deaths and injuries involving teen drivers be prevented. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there are proven methods for helping teens become safer drivers. Research suggests that the most comprehensive graduated drivers programs are associated with reduction of 38% and 40% in fatal and injury crashes. Graduated licensing systems are designed to delay fully licensure while allowing teens to get their initial driving experience under low-risk conditions. Also, parents can help their children to become safer drivers by making sure that their children follow the law. So now that you know that teens are at most risk for having car accidents, and also you know some factors that put teen drivers at risk, and how deaths and injuries involving teen drivers can be prevented. I hope that you will be safer on the road, and think twice before you engage in risky driving behaviors.